Hi, Nuno. How are you today?
Hi, Arlindo. I'm fine. And you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
First, at all, I would like to say thank you for accepting my invitations to talk about Pilates.
It's
And
my
uh, and I would like to introduce you a little bit. So, correct me if I'm wrong. You are the owner and the technical director of Bells and Springs.
yeah, correct.
You are a Pilates master teacher by Michael and Tom.
Yes.
And you have a bachelor degree in physical education and sports.
Yes.
That
And
is the main.
before, just to say something, before the master degree of Pilates teacher, before the that title that you told about me,
Yeah, yeah.
I did a certification in Pilates with Romana Krizanovska
Mm-hmm.
in Brazil, in the school of Inélia Garcia.
Mm.
The Pilates Studio Brazil. I studied with Romana Krizanovska, and she was one of the proteges of Mr. Joe Pilates. So I studied with a
Ah,
lady that worked
ah,
most of her life with Joe Pilates herself.
oh, fantastic, fantastic. So before we go, you know, go more, try to know more about what is your motivation behind Pilates, the story. I would like to start saying one thing. I did Pilates, met Pilates for maybe 4 or 5 years, and I started when I was 38. And why? Because after 8 years with chronic back pain, trying physiotherapy, acupuncture, chiropractor, I don't know, I tried so many things and nothing was helping me. And when I started doing Pilates here in the city I am at the moment in Portimão, where I grew up, my back start really get better and more stable. So no, I would like to start maybe asking you, why do you think this happened to me, and if it's normal in Pilates, this kind of situation.
Yes, it's for one side, unfortunately, it is normal because most people come to Pilates because they injured themselves or they have some kind of pain in their body or some place in their body that restrains them from living their life normally. That's a downside of the question. But the other side is that it's good because we always have work. And actually, Pilates does address specifically the spine. So Pilates has to do uh, all Pilates work uh, is centered and goes through the spine,
Mm.
the vertebral spine,
Okay, yeah.
directly or indirectly. Either we move the spine directly and we address the spine directly, or we through the limbers, through the members, levers, we
Yeah.
use we charge the spine in specific ways so it can work more properly.
Like,
And that's
is there?
why, yeah, say,
Yeah, I would say there is. So basically, you are saying even so if someone doesn't understand anything about Pilates and see us to move arms and legs, so indirectly the main goal is to work the spine.
the spine.
When you say the
Unfortunately,
spine, you mean the stability of the spine, the health of the spine. What do you mean with the spine?
the motion of the spine, because the
Mm-hmm.
spine is not a one single piece. It is composed of several pieces that is supposed to move within each other and in
Mm.
relation to each other, the little pieces of the spine and the segments of the spine. Um, so it addresses the movement of the spine with some parts being stopped, stabilized if you want, and others uh, doing motion. But
Yeah.
most of the time, the spine is seen as like a path between points of motion in your body.
Mm-mm.
So it connects. Um, you could use the word energy if you want, but
Yeah.
motion from one point of the body to the other point of the body. It also is a point where motion starts.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly is a point where the motion goes through.
Okay. Could you say like the spine in this case is like the foundation of almost everything of
It is
in
the
our
foundation.
body, all the movement?
It is the
That's
foundation.
mm,
And
okay.
in the spine, you have all the
Yep.
nerves coming out of the spine. So in terms of developing your senses and your motion and
Yep.
your everything, you depend on that central axis to be healthy as you can,
Mm.
to heal yourself. Not only motion healing or pains, but other kind of injuries and illnesses that can come through your nerve system.
Mm-mm. So do you? So in this case, could we say something like, okay, if you do that, we can have physical benefits like decrease pain, body pain, but other kind of health benefits?
Yeah, that was the um, the saying from Mr. Joe Pilates. He advertised himself by saying that you gain physical health, physical health meaning not only injury free, but physical health in general, if you do his system of exercises.
Fantastic. No, it's very interesting because especially when I moved to Australia, I was there for 7 years, and my wife convinced me to come back to Portugal. She loves this, so I'm here in Portugal again. But when I went there, I went to try different, places, and some places is like a workout. I went there. Okay, and move here, and 10, and one, and two, without any specific technique, no details, and opposition. I had other places that I went, they were very detailed about the technique. So can so in my understanding, in nowadays we have looks like Pilates was the creator, but now we have different
Mm.
schools or styles or
Yeah.
variations.
Yes, there are two answers that I can give you in different directions. One is that yes, Joe Pilates created his system, but he didn't wrote anything but a little book with 50 pages, which is more an essay on lifestyle uh, issues of when he lived. And actually, what he wrote is very up to date now, because he talks about people being sedentary and not doing any motion and just sitting on desks and not doing an exercise. Huh? So it's very up to date what he wrote. And he wrote some things um, in between the lines more in those
Mm,
essays
mm, mm.
concerning his principles of work. So those
Okay.
are written, but it's not very clear what he wanted to do with his
Mm,
method. He had a lot of little films, and a lot of pictures. He did a lot of pictures,
yeah,
but
yeah,
mostly his knowledge came to us through the word of mouth of
yeah.
people that trained with
The,
him.
okay.
They were not trained by him to be teachers. Only like 10 or less than 10 persons, some of them have already died, like my teacher.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They were specifically trained to be teachers of his methods,
Mm,
but he never organized a school,
mm,
besides school. So
okay, okay.
most people that worked with him for 20, 40, 50 years, they went to another city, another state, another country, and they went on working with the machines that Joe Pilates invented, and they copied the machines, and they say they did Pilates work, Pilates methods.
Mm,
But what they did was the Pilates methods adapted to their needs. So if you were a boxer, and there
okay.
were boxers, you had specific boxer needs. If you were
Yeah,
a dancer, but you had a lot of injuries in your back, lower back, you had specific Pilates for those needs and for those injuries. So people learn differently the same thing because they learn for their needs.
Yeah, yeah,
And so there's no uniformity in
yeah,
what
yeah,
the repertoire, the exercises, the figures, they are the same.
mm.
Okay? Because let me give you an example. For instance, you do in your exercise program that you teach, you use a down-facing dog from yoga, for example,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
you can go through a down-facing dog, which you don't have the same goals as a guy from India with developing the chakra, blah, 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 blah. You're just there for the physiology of the thing and dissociation of the hips and stretching of the back line. I don't know. So you can use the same shapes
yeah, yeah, but
with
with
completely
different
different goals.
goals. Yeah, yeah.
We don't know what he was thinking about because he didn't leave anything written
Read. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
saying, I'm doing this because of that. Everyone is interpreting what he left, and everyone is interpreting through the lenses of who taught them. So I'm interpreting through the lenses of this lady that taught me, and then through the lenses of others that taught me afterwards, and through
yeah,
my lenses because I also learned other
yeah.
biomechanics,
Yeah, and then
things
you
that
bring all this
correct.
information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you said that you saw in Australia, it happens all over the world. Classes that were very 1, 2, 3, go,
three.
go,
Yeah,
go. Even with music, some classes
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
group classes just uh, because they use or we use the repertoire, okay, the motions,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you can use the motions. You're free to use motion because motion
This
is a
motion.
free is motion,
Yeah,
and it resembles Pilates. And I bet that because you were looking for Pilates workout for a Pilates person, you went for someone that said, I'm teaching Pilates, even if the person is teaching movement.
yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it resembles Pilates, but it is not Pilates. Pilates is what he did. Now we do something that resembles Pilates. I do something that resembles Pilates, and I call it Nunatas, if you want, because it's not his method exactly what he did. It's
Yeah.
my understanding of what arrived to
Uh,
us. You see,
yeah, 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 yeah. It makes sense. And plus your, like you said, plus your experience, your knowledge, and the
exactly.
combination.
But
Yeah,
the word Pilates sells nowadays,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's
people
right.
want to do Pilates because the doctor tells them to do Pilates.
Yeah,
So I sell Pilates.
yeah, 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 yeah. Makes sense. And makes sense. Let's use. And yeah, Nuno, can you tell us in general, and also specific, giving maybe 2 or 3 example about the benefits of Pilates? So I gave you was back pain. Can you give
Mhm.
me? Can you give us like another example, like maybe shoulder problems or hip problems, or and how Pilates can help with that?
Yeah. So yes, Pilates can give you benefits in all the joints. So back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, knee pain, feet pain, hands, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a method of exercise that uses the whole body during the exercises. You don't do wrist curls in Pilates without thinking where your feet are, where your spine is, how you're stabilizing before. So it's an all it's a system for all the body, so you can address all the body for whatever you need to
Okay.
address.
So tell me, so you give it this example. So you are saying if you are doing a movement with the wrist, so your focus is not only the wrist.
Yeah,
If I understood, you need to put the focus in other areas of the body.
exactly,
And
exactly.
okay,
You
okay,
need
and
to
that
see where you're compensating. You need to see where you're starting the movement. You need to see where you're clenching your mouth or your stomach or your sphincters, or you see you need to see how you initiate a movement, for instance.
yeah, 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 yeah.
This is one way to work with Pilates.
Okay.
It's not specific of Pilates. It's an approach to the methods. It's my
Okay.
approach to the
It's your
method.
approach. Yes, that's how I
Right?
was going. It's your approach. Yeah. And so, and also, what is the difference between, in your experience, in your approach, to do the mat Pilates and the reformer, or using the machines?
Okay. One big difference from using machines and the mat is that in the mat you don't have ways to support yourself, to give you points of connection with the body. You cannot close chains in the body unless you use the floor, or you use little small gadgets, balls, and then I would consider that a ball or a stick or an elastic band is already an apparatus, is already a
Okay.
machine.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a machine, okay?
So it has more limitations. The mat.
Much more limitations.
Much more limitations.
In terms of connecting the body to the work, okay? So the mat was used if you had a group in his time, and he could not address people, a group of people in the machines. He needed to be on the floor. That's what he used. That's what he used for people to do by themselves if they don't have the machines. So he would prescribe a list of exercises to be done on the floor. There are some examples in old books from him, with a list of exercises, a list of mat workouts that he gave specifically to you or to me or to someone else. But the mat doesn't connect the body. Doesn't The machines help you to find where you are in space easily. For instance, if I stretch my arm and I say, "Can you feel your shoulder?" I can feel my shoulder, but if I have something to connect my hand with, I can feel easily where my shoulder is.
Yeah.
If I close a chain in the body, if I find the support, and the machines give you support, or if you advance, they take the support away so that you can regress, you can make it easier or make it more difficult with the machines in terms of where the support is for the body to stabilize or to find its place in space.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. In my experience, when I was doing Pilates, I was, seeing more people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. Do you think, in your experience, Pilates was designed more for some specific age, or not, or is more I think is not for the age. I think we live in a society that sells hard workout. You need to sweat, you need to burn, even if you get lots of injuries, but that's the message, every day. And people, when they look at Pilates, oh, this is for ladies or pregnant. I don't know, that's my perception and my experience. What is your point of view and your experience, Nuno, about age? What kind of people should do or not?
Yes, Pilates is not meant for old age people or for grown-ups only. It's meant for everyone, for every human body, be it small, big, in a growth stage, in early age, or in a decaying stage, in very old age. You just need to know the needs of a person to address the same exercise to one person or the other. The thing, you cannot prescribe exercise for people with 50 or over 50, because people over 50 can be looking like over 70, or they can be feeling like and behaving like 20 to move.
Yeah, that's what they talk about, biological age. One thing is the chronological age and the
That's,
biological.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you should talk about biological age and not chronological age. But as you said, it's a marketing strategy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Pilates is not a cheap modality, a cheap thing, because it's mostly done one-to-one.
yeah, yeah.
And it's a fashion thing. So it is expensive for also for that.
Let me
Um,
add, if you don't mind, if someone wants to learn Pilates properly, should do one-to-one, not the group classes. That's what you mean, maybe, because some gyms, they offer Pilates
yes.
group classes, like 20, 30 people there, and then we go there, like I went a few times, and the instructors in the front there saying, do this, do that, and everyone is doing wrong, and and
If you want to learn something body-wise in terms of movement, any technique, any system, anything properly, if you want to learn, you should do it one-to-one. You should
yeah,
learn at least some parts of it. You should do it one-to-one.
yeah,
But if you just want to practice a body practice without the need to learn that much about the body practice itself, or if you already have some knowledge about your body, you can expose yourself to any practice out there in a group setting, and you can preserve your body during the practice because you know what you're doing with your body.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
you know what your body needs. You know how your body feels when it's good or when it's not good.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So
No, what they are saying is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have the same approach when someone comes to me and says, look, I want to be in your group classes, and I will say, look, let's meet first. We're going to do a consultation. I'm going to do assessment. I need to know more about your body, and then I'll give you advice if
yeah,
the group
yeah,
class is for you, or you should do one-to-one. What happens sometimes, they want to go for group classes, of course, probably because it's cheap, or they never thought about that. And when I do the assessment, they say, oh, look, if you go to a group class, you can go, but you can probably, you're gonna get injured because you don't have any body conscious. Of course, and I don't use these words. I try to be
of
more
course.
polite, but
Yeah,
I say it another way, more that makes people feel well, and well about themselves. But is this what you were trying to say?
yes,
Something like,
yes, yes. It's totally the same, but we also have to think about our economic survival,
yeah,
and sometimes we have to close our eyes to people that may injure themselves in a group setting. We try to lower the level of the group because of someone instead of giving the group the possibility to grow as much as they can,
yeah, yeah,
because the limit of a group is always the lower link in the group, the one that
yeah,
can be
yeah,
injured
yeah,
more.
yeah,
So if you go to a big gym, you cannot control the person that arrives at your class. So you need to be, or you just do whatever because you have an insurance and people assign an insurance before they go to the class and you say, hey, just do what you want. Don't hurt yourselves. Be careful. Don't hurt yourselves. That's a good thing.
It helps a lot. Helps a lot.
And and you just teach the class and lead the group. If something good happens, it's okay. If something bad happens, it's bad luck for them because
Yeah,
you warned them before.
yeah. You
Don't.
weren't. Don't get injured. It was clear. Yeah, yeah,
But nowadays, market imposes some behavior to some people. I believe that you and I, because we have more years than average on in the markets of sports and conditioning, we can choose our clients and we can say, no, you cannot come to my class. You need to do a private class first. We can do
yeah,
that. My job, because I'm always challenged. It's not a boring
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I
It's not
teach,
something boring.
I teach the same exercises 7 hours a day, everyone the same, almost the same. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's always different. Every
It's
day
all
is
different. That's
yeah.
right. That's why
So
I get sometimes surprised when people say, "Oh, I'm bored. I've been teaching for 10 years." Yeah,
how
but
come?
well, every day is different day.
It's impossible to be bored. Yes.
No, no, no. No, to finish, I would like to ask you one thing. If someone would like to know more about your work, your service, as private lessons or during training, be a teacher in your method, how can they find you?
Okay, we have our page, our Facebook page, Bells and Springs. You can see it under my name, Nuno Gusmão at
Okay.
bellsandsprings.com. Bells and Springs, it's the name of our company, of our studio. And we have a Facebook page where we advertise what we do, and they can call us for private classes or for our services at the studio. We also advertise there for the training that I do. At the time, I'm teaching once a year, one group a year, and I'm teaching in the north of Portugal, in Oporto, together with two colleagues of mine from Espaço Fi, which is a PHI space, which is a studio there. They have studied with me, and we studied together. So in terms of certification and teachers training, I'm working more up there in the north. That's it.
Okay. Are you planning to do some online? Because I spoke with Nuno. Are you planning to do some online service classes or things that people can learn? If someone from if someone doesn't live in Lisbon and lives anywhere else in Portugal or in the world,
yeah, we do online classes, private classes. For some people, we started during the COVID before the confinement was kind of dissolved here already. So we are already working in person. So but we still do some online sessions for people.
Okay, so if someone would like to train with you overseas or anywhere in the world, they can contact you. Is a possibility.
We can do it. Yes, we can do it. And
fantastic.
Also training, which is more difficult because the training that I'm doing now, we do half time online, half time in person, but in very small groups, just with 3 persons. So we have a big group of teachers to be certified, and we divided them in small groups.
Okay.
So it takes a huge day for us instead of just 6 hours of teaching, because we split the group and we teach like 3-4 hours to each group.
Yeah, this is because of COVID now? Because of yeah, okay. Only because of COVID. Yep. Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, Nuno. Thank you very much for your time. And if anyone is watching and watching this video, feel free to comment or send message, contact us. It will be a pleasure for us. Nuno, I don't know if you want to finish with anything else or.
No, just to thank you, Arlindo, very, very much. It was a pleasure to have met you, because you came to our studio when you came from Australia, and you looked for some studios to play with and to work in, and you came and you found our studio, and you're still a very colleague there. So it's a pleasure to be part of your project, of your online project.
Thank you, and if everything is going well, I spoke with Tiago. Probably in September I'll be there to start working with you guys, try to do some stuff together.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay.